All right, guys, so we're gonna go through basically our corporate AV rack today by demand. Everybody wanted to know what all is in this. I quickly went through it and the warehouse tour video. We've added all kinds of stuff in here and racking that's all behind me. I don't remember exactly what the specs and the names of all the things are that I have in this, but I'm gonna be linking everything in the description down below for you guys to check out. First off, this is the giant ProX case that we bought for the whole setup, basically. And the beauty of this case is both of these lids turn into tabletops on the sides. The wheels come off of it, so you can put the wheels wherever you want. We decided to put both the locking wheels on the front. That's just how we chose to do it. Of course, you got big, nice hinges on both sides that come off, road case hinges. And it's already pre-built with the legs and the basically hinges on the side to transform it into a tabletop. As you guys might remember, my audio rack that's actually back there in the distance, I transformed that case into one that did the tabletop. But this one, it's already pre-built, has it built, ready to go, which was more efficient for us trying to build out our corporate AV side of the company as quickly as possible. So that slides in perfectly right there. I will note the tabletop is a tad bit lower than the top of here. They didn't make it flush. Don't know why they did that, but that's how they did it. So, and inside of this lid right here, we actually keep a big long surge protector with I think 8 different ports on it that we can set in front of one of the tabletop sides. We could use both, but typically we're running video on one side, audio in the middle, and then kind of extra on the other side. So it works out to plug in all of our video stuff. This will go on this side to form the other tabletop. Beautiful. All right, so the rack itself, give you guys some perspective on measurements. The actual rack itself is 3'8". So each side is also 3'8", and when you put it all together, you get a 11'2" long workspace to do your events with. So now I'm gonna go handheld. Well, actually, let's talk about the rack for a second. The way this rack comes, there's different configurations you can buy for this rack. This is the 12U 4-drawer model. There's also a double 12U, so you can have basically 2 on both sides, but those drawers are super helpful for storing all of the video gear that we use to run all of our video gear. I will also add at this point, we're doing a lot of corporate AV style events. Basically, if you guys have seen any videos, we're doing stuff for conferences where we have maybe a podium mic, maybe we have 4 or 5 mics doing a panel, maybe we have a couple Britney Spears style mics, a couple lapels doing stuff. Video side, we're running video to either like 12-foot screens, 16-foot projector screens, either long throw, short throw. Those are all kind of chilling over there in the corporate AV realm. But this is the central hub that runs everything. So inside of here, we have video switches to run all of our video controls. Sometimes we have cameras coming in. Sometimes we're doing live streaming out. We're rarely doing things with bands. Most of our events only use a max of like 4 microphones. Most of them are honestly using 1 or 2 max. So that's the way this rack is currently built out, but it's also built out so that we can expand it in the future for more capabilities. So that is kind of a little quick overview of what the rack is used for. Let's go through everything that's in it that we utilize basically at every single one of our events. And shout out to OJ in the back because he completely reorganized this whole thing. And I actually don't even know what's in any of the drawers anymore. All right, so before we go through all the nitty gritty, this also comes to all of our events as well as 2 Rockville facades. So up there we got 2 4-panel Rockville facades that basically cover the front of this 11-foot monster at our events. But these right here, if you guys are doing corporate audio, this has been the biggest game changer for our team, is these Hollyland headsets. So these are all just plug and play, ready to go headsets that we wear at our events. And I highly recommend opt for the noise canceling version. Don't get the basic version. We've worked with some other production teams and we can actually combine our headsets together. And the noise cancellation is so helpful. So highly recommend these. They are not cheap, but they are a game changer when you're trying to communicate between a video tech, an audio tech, a lighting tech, and a producer that's producing the whole show, and maybe some camera operators. Getting these headsets was a game changer for us. So highly recommend you guys look into them. The battery life is great on them. They come with this awesome charging bay here. So you just keep comes with basically 2 batteries per makes it super nice and convenient to be able to do all of our stuff. So let's start with everything that's out in the open, and then we'll get into the drawers. So the brains of our audio operation, we went with Allen and Heath, and this is the CQ18T. It is a complete touchscreen digital console with 18 outputs and 6 monitor outputs, 18 inputs. It's a beast. I don't have it turned on right now, but this thing also connects directly. It has its own Wi-Fi built into it, but we actually built in a hub to this. So we have a Wi-Fi router in the back that I'll show you guys. But this can be digitally controlled via your iPad, so you can walk around the room and dial in the audio specifically to your needs. We have it all pre-wired with a patch panel, courtesy of NLFX Pro. We'll show that in the back. But this guy right here is a beast. So that right there, it's on a nice little slider shelf here, so that way we can pull it out. But for the most part, we actually leave it in and just use the iPads. And you can use multiple to see multiple screens. It's got auto mixing built into it, so you can set up like 4 microphones and set the priority, and it will mix back and forth for you automatically. Highly recommend looking into that mixer. This audio mixer is, for the price too, is amazing. I currently want to get the CQ12T to put in my audio rack to replace my Yamaha. Down below, we have the DJRickWebinfo PA2. Now you might ask, why do you have this badass mixer and then you have a drive rack right below it? Well, that is for more control on our outputs. The DJRickWebinfo PA2 gives us 3 individual outputs that we can then EQ separately. We can set basically our levels differently for all 3 of those outputs. Just gives us a lot more control between those 3 outputs. Yes, this has 6 outputs as well, but this allows us to have 3 kind of master outputs that we can just do subtle tweaking on, and we don't have to go into heavy tweaking on this unit. Do you need it? No. We just, from our team perspective, we're very familiar with the DBX systems, so we put one in here, and we do utilize it quite a bit. We have a Furman M8DX. I'm actually wanting to upgrade this because I learned that the base level Furman does not actually have the best power conditioning. So we're actually going to probably upgrade this in the future. Down below it are microphone systems. We have a distro right here, a 4 distro box. What that does is it combines all 4 of these microphones below here into 2 antennas. It also provides power to all 4 of the microphones to clean up cabling in the back, as we'll see. We were running 4 of the Audio-Technica 3000 series. These are all networking mics. I'll talk about that in a bit, but all 4 of these are networking mics. And we did leave enough room. We have 3 U's down here to add another distro and 4 more microphones down below when we want to upgrade. But again, most of the time, we're only using 4. So not to get too nerdy on you guys, but the difference between the standard Audio-Technica 3000 4th gens and the networking versions are, there's a networking port. So there's a Cat6, or not a Cat6, but a RJ45 Ethernet connection in the back of it. And what you can do is you can run those into a Ethernet hub, and then you can connect that to your computer. And then using your computer, Audio-Technica, and Shure has the same thing, and Sennheiser has the same thing as well. We just prefer the Audio-Technica brand. Has a software that on your computer, you can scan the whole room and see a full spectrum of frequencies that are available, and you can tell it how many microphones you're using and all the setup information, and it will then assign the channels specifically to each microphone for them to all work together. Now, Audio-Technica has, in each individual mic, has a scanning feature built into it. It's pretty good if you're using just 1 or 2, but when you start to get into like 3, 4, 5, 6, the scanning tool doesn't work as good, which is where the computer networking side comes in and makes your life a lot easier. It's very technical, and maybe I'll make a whole video on that in the future. Coming around to the back of the corporate AV rack here, this is where we'll find our TP-Link router. So this router is hooked into the DJRickWebinfo PA2, so we can wirelessly control the DJRickWebinfo PA2 from a tablet from anywhere in the room. We could also control the Allen and Heath board from anywhere in the room. And one of these goes to a hub that we have over here somewhere that all of our networking mics are hooked into. Now, it looks like pretty much like a snake's rest in there, but that's how it is. These are our 2 microphones. So these are our 2 outputs. Right now we only have half-wave antennas on it, but if we wanted to in the future, we could grab a shark fin, and hook those up to these outputs and run a shark fin in our room to do that. But for the most part, we've never really had any issues with just our half-wave antennas. The shark fin would just give us even more control if we needed to do so. So this is the patch panel I told you guys about that we had NLFX Pro make for us. So basically we have a power con in here for power. All of our inputs are labeled. So we have inputs 5 through 16 available. Numbers 1 through 4 are running to the 4 wireless microphones built into the rack. We have our high, mid, and low outputs from the DJRick PA2. That's just what they're named on the DJRick. These actually are full range outputs that we can assign however we wish. And these are 4 of the 6 monitor outputs that we routed to the back here. We left 2 of the 1/4-inch monitor outputs actually available directly on the board if we need to quickly run that to a recorder or something along those lines. Inside of here, though, we have a nice 25-foot PowerCon cable to plug in the rack. Again, we also have a nice big, long Cat 6 cable in here ready to plug into the wall. That way we can get internet into our hub here, and then we can use this to then break out the internet to laptops or whatever we want to do along those lines. Also have a nice little cyber power strip back here so that we can quickly plug in additional things like that power strip. We can plug that in right there. Super quick, super easy. Patch panels are amazing. So that's basically the rack side of things. Nothing too crazy, just some awesome mixers and everything that we got to use. But yeah, that's what we're using. So now let's get to everything that's in the drawers, because this is the real stuff that we set up and make everything happen at our events. So conveniently, everything has now been labeled, makes our lives a lot easier. So in here, we have USB-C to C cables. These are all of our power cables to plug in and charge a lot of our things. We have all of our HDMI cables. These are all thin HDMI cables. We have power docks. These are basically power stations to power a bunch of laptops, etc. I'll open all this up in a second. Show you guys what we got. Here we got a variety of miscellaneous things. So we got some USB hubs up here to plug in little USB bricks. We have a USB-C to A over there. This is a Bluetooth transmitter. Highly recommend this thing. I'll link it down below, but this is a high-powered Bluetooth transmitter. You can literally get like 100 feet away and still be transmitting Bluetooth to it. This is more for like breakout rooms where we're just running speakers on the side. It's a spare thing for us to use. And then we have a bunch of little converters down here to go between XLR, quarter-inch, female, XLR, you get the idea. But there's a bunch of those quick little connectors in there to make different transitions. Then as we work our way back, we have a variety of power inputs. These are all the little kind of micro powers that power a lot of the different things we have in the rack, such as our audio extractor here. So this has audio output, basically HDMI in, and then that HDMI in can then be used as an optical out. You have HDMI out as well, or you can pull right and left audio out of the HDMI feed. This is a little Anchor A/B switcher. So this is nice when we're running a confidence monitor and we have 2 different laptops. So it allows us with one click to switch between the 2 different laptops. So this could be the confidence monitor feed for laptop A and laptop B, and we can switch in between to send that to the confidence monitor that's at the front of the stage, the 60-inch confidence monitor. We have 3 of these awesome DI boxes. These are like the Powerboy ones, the multimedia DI box. It has everything you could ever want. So it's got quarter-inch input. It has a headphone 3.5 millimeter input. It's got RCA inputs as well. It's got a pad. It's got a lift. And of course, on the back side here, it allows you to also do XLR in, and it also provides that awesome output at a nice low level, so that way we can bring in audio feeds from our video switcher or from just a computer. We can hook up a computer input to the headphone jack or a phone or a Bluetooth input to run music cleanly into our audio rack there, into the Allen & Heath board. A couple spare cat cables right here. Always nice to have those laying around. Right here we have a laser pointer clicker and a couple, these are just our spare, like, nice Logitech clickers. We don't actually use these. We use a Dasani clicker that's down in the rack. Right here we have 2 Anchor kind of little hubs, the USB-C hubs. So this gives us SD card inputs, USB 3.0 outputs, and the bigger thing, it gives us 2 HDMI outputs. This is super helpful because we do have a couple laptops that don't have HDMI outputs, or just to get a second or a third HDMI output. Also incredibly helpful if you're running Microsoft PowerPoint and you need to have that PowerPoint view. You can run that to a second HDMI, and then again run that to a confidence monitor, and then you can run your main HDMI feed to your switcher on the main unit. So we got a couple of those that normally does us good for having those. We have these cool battery slots here. These are just all of our spare batteries just sit up here. Super helpful and easy to just keep all your batteries together. They don't flop everywhere in your case. Nice and organized. A couple pens, pencils, scissors, just miscellaneous stuff here that we might need. So like I said, I was gonna open up those bags for you guys. The USB-C cables, these are all Anchor, nice, high power, 100 watt rated cables. I believe they're 100 watt. They're either 100 or 85 watt rated cables of a variety of lengths. I think we have two 10 footers, two 6 footers, two 3 footers, and probably some other ones in here that I don't even know about. Pretty much everything that we buy or that we have bought to do our corporate AV with, including our computers, all take USB Type-C power. So that's why we have a crap load of USB Type-C powers. And those pair beautifully with these guys right here, which are our power hubs. These things are pretty insane. So we typically put one of these on both sides, but this is a 550 watt brick. And that brick has two 100 watt outputs, three 65s, and three normal USB kind of 5 watt outputs as well. I will say you can only run one 100 and one 65 at the same time, or you can run two 100s, or you can run all three 65s. That's what we typically do because most of our stuff doesn't actually need 100. But we can run all three 65s at the same time and the three bottom ones. So between these two bricks, we can power basically 6 laptops and a bunch of random USB things, like you'll see our Confidence or our portable monitors there down below. They can run off of USB power. Yeah, these guys, super cool. Literally one cable plugs it in and gives you all of these different power outputs. Really helps to get rid of all of the cubes and all the little power adapters that are on your station. Now this other bag, USB Type-C, or HDMI cables, sorry. These are all nice, thin HDMI cables. You don't need those thick ones. These are all cable, I don't even remember what brand, but these are all 4K, nice HDMI cables. Again, a variety of different lengths from 3 foot to 15 foot. And this is basically what we're using to connect all of our laptops up to our switchers and all of our outputs. This just cleans up our Confidence monitors. This cleans up everything on the table. So that's what's in those 3 bags. Basically our kind of our top thing right here is all of our power and all of our micro cabling that we need to run our rack, and some of just basically the more consumable things that we're using to set up the initial portion of the rack and wire it all together. All right, moving on down to drawer number 2. Drawer number 2, we have more cabling, some video switchers, and mostly gaff tape. We have brown gaff tape because the venue that we are the in-house AV people, Legacy Stables, they have brown flooring. So we keep some brown gaff tape. We have some white gaff tape. And of course we have some black gaff tape. I believe we have some more in here as well. And we always keep it in our power tote over there that has all of our nice extension cords. We keep extra gaff tape in there as well. We have some striker tape. This is really helpful to put in between pipe and drape to show people where they can go in between slits and slots in the pipe and drape in general. And also it's nice to color microphones, etc. Get you some striker tape. It's nice for corporate AV stuff. We have microphone adapters. So these are all for microphone stands for our wireless mics. Those just kind of live up there out of the way. Right here we have our 2 HDMI switchers. So these are basically 1 to 4. So 1 input, 4 outputs. We basically put these near projectors to do different feeds, etc. Helpful to have. Right here we have our wireless audio, or what we call wireless audio adapters. These right here plug into a body pack and turn that body pack into an XLR input or a 1/4 inch input. So basically you can plug this into the back of the rack there. On the mid output can be plugged into this XLR, and then that feeds into a body pack, and then that body pack feeds to a wireless receiver, which we'll get to in the bottom, to run wireless audio. Go check out my whole video on how we run wireless audio using a lapel or a body pack microphone in reverse. Here's a variety of different cables. These are basically all your different converter cables that you might need. We have 1/4 inch to RCA, RCA to 1/4 inch, XLR to 1/4 inch, just a variety of different little helpful cables to use to hook up the video switcher, to run the video switcher into a DI box, run it into the main rack. Helpful stuff to have here. These are specialty cables. So these are micro HDMI to full-size HDMI, mini HDMI to full-size HDMI, DisplayPort to HDMI cables as well. Depending on, sometimes we work with other videographers and we need an HDMI feed out of their camera. Their camera might have micro, it might have mini, it might have full-size HDMI, and sometimes we allow clients to use their own laptops. Sometimes they have a DisplayPort out if they're running a Dell. So these are just a variety of different spare cables. This right here is all of our USB-A to USB Type-C cables. So these are, again, for those same power bricks that are up here. We can use those USB-A outputs to power some lower voltage USB-C stuff using these cables as well. So again, just more cables in this portion of the rack, as well as some gaff tape. All right, now we're getting into some expensive goodies. Enter the video rack, the video portion of the whole entire rack. So we have 2 media players over here. These are just little media players. I mean, they accept USB inputs, so you can plug in a USB flash drive with video files, pictures, slideshows, etc. plug them into the HDMI inputs on projectors, TVs, and just, you know, they're just media players. They're really handy devices to have. Not that expensive. Here's the remotes for them. One of them's brand new, actually. Here is our Perfect Q Dasani clicker. If you guys are going to do anything with corporate AV and you need a clicker, buy this clicker. This thing is awesome. So one, it's a radio-based clicker, so it doesn't use Bluetooth. So you have up to 500 feet of range, and you have 2 USB inputs. So you can hook this up to 2 laptops simultaneously, and this one clicker will control both of them. So if you want to have a full-size confidence monitor with the next slide, you can hook this up to both laptops at the same time. One is one slide ahead, and this clicker will progress both laptops at the same time. Super handy thing to do. The two, basically the 2 USB cables are right here. Another cool thing about it is you basically never need to change the battery. Literally, this is a built-in internal like lithium battery or something, I don't even remember, but it's rated to go pretty much like 2 years with never needing to replace the battery. So we keep a spare battery on us, but it's pretty much never gonna die. There's our clicker, the Perfect Q by Dasani. Right here, these are 2 of the portable monitors. I love these things. So let me set them up real quick. Maybe I can do it one-handed. So basically they just magnetic covers, fold out. I needed 2 hands for a second, but that's all they are. We got 2 different, they're 2 different brands, but they're 15.6-inch monitors. You can put them at the high, put them at the low, and that's all they are. They're a monitor. So this one has a micro HDMI input. It takes USB-C power, and you got some controls over here. I believe this one actually takes a full-size HDMI. Yeah, this one does a full-size HDMI and USB Type-C power. These are great for second monitors, or we use it mostly for our video switcher to see the program view behind the scenes. But these things are actually relatively affordable, and I actually come in here and I steal one if I'm going on vacation, so I have a second monitor to work with. And some laptops actually, via USB Type-C, you can run this monitor just off of USB Type-C, and your laptop can actually power it and send HDMI to it at the same time. So those are our 2 portable monitors. Nice to have. Got a spare USB power. That's for the media player. This is a data USB-C cable, so this is a high-speed data USB to USB Type-C cable. We keep it specifically here with our main video switcher, brand new. This is the Rodecaster Video, and there's a lot of video switchers on the market, but this is the one we landed on as being the best bang for your buck and the most amount of features. And I could make a whole video on this, but if you guys want to look into it, badass video switcher. It's got built-in recording. We can plug in a USB Type-C hard drive to this, record it. It has a USB Type-C out that works as a webcam. So you could send this whole feed from here into a computer and then use that to basically zoom out your broadcast from your event. It's got 4 dedicated HDMI inputs. It's got 2 HDMI outs, all 1080p cap, and it also has 2 USB Type-C inputs that you can use for video capture cards or webcams. It's also got a couple mic inputs, but of course we got a mic rack, so we're mostly going to use that. And this will actually link to a computer, and you can upload media files to it. It's got scene builder, so you can create different scenes and different configurations with backdrops, graphics. You can do lower third graphics. You can do scene overlays. You can actually upload and have videos on the fly ready to go. So if a client gives you a bunch of video files, you can have them ready to go on A, B, C, and D. This thing is awesome. And one of the things I love is just, it's got nice big buttons to push. You're not gonna miss the button. We run it in studio mode, so when we press 5, we can either come over here and quickly cut to that scene, or we can use an auto dissolve feature as well. It's basically got everything. And it's also internet based too. So you can actually hook this thing up to your router, and you can control it via a computer anywhere in the room. So that's super helpful because I can be over here as the programmer, you know, switching in between all my scenes, and then I can have a secondary guy down there on the computer creating all of my scenes and my lower thirds, like switching out lower thirds and on the fly creating different scenes and visuals for me to use throughout the program. So it's basically like a 2-in-1. Just, it's an awesome piece of tech. We got a video cable here. That's for one of the monitors. This is a secondary video switcher. So this is kind of if we need just a basic video switcher. We have a roll-in V1 HD. This is just a 4 USB or a 4 HDMI switcher, just a pretty basic one to use. But yeah, this is kind of what we used to use, and then we just upgraded to that bad boy right there. But that just a simple 4-unit. Sometimes you have to have multiple switchers at corporate events. So one switcher might be running all the content for the screens in here, and then you need a second switcher that's also implementing cameras to do a live stream feed to another location. Power adapter back there for the actual, for that roll-in. This is the power adapter for the Rode And back here, we also keep a little mini DJ controller. If we're doing anything too like more intricate with our music, we like to have a little physical control for our music bit. So little Hercules, Serato-based little MIDI controller. Thing's super nice to use for corporate events. Alrighty, on to the last drawer here, and this is our microphone drawer. So we have our 4 handhelds that we keep, 4 different handhelds, nicely bagged up, keep them nice and scratched up as least as possible. These are the 2 mic receivers. You can see they're pretty scratched up. We use these for wireless speakers. Like I mentioned, we take that body pack right here and hook up the body pack to XLR. That can be hooked into the mid output on this console right here, and that will feed audio to 1 or 2 different sets of backfills, rear fills, side speakers, breakout rooms, etc. We could practically do almost 500 feet from the body pack to here to be able to run wireless audio fills. We have a bunch of half-wave antennas for those boxes right there. And that's pretty much it. There's the power adapters for them as well. And we keep a spare Yamaha 6-channel mixer back there just in case. Again, breakout rooms, side rooms, need a microphone in another room. That is great for those. And then in here, we have our 2 Shure podium microphones. So we have 2 different gooseneck podium microphones. These are top of the line. I'll link them down below, but they're super cardioid ones. They were highly recommended to me when we first started. Love them. Them sound great. We have a simple Audio-Technica handheld mic. This is good for a voice of God mic back here in the rack, basically, so we don't have to worry about wireless. We can just run a voice of God mic just wired. These guys. So not only with those XLR adapters that were up here, can you use a body pack to run wireless microphone fills, but you can also hook up podium mics. So via that XLR, so the body pack to XLR converter, we can hook it up to a podium mic. Now this podium mic actually requires phantom power. That's where this guy comes in. This thing is super cool. This is an X5. It's a battery powered 45 up volt converter. So this is where the microphone plugs in, and this little battery pack will give it 45 volts of power to run it like normal, but then it's a simple line output on this side of the mic that can run into a body pack. And then you can actually bring in that podium microphone wirelessly to your audio board. Most people would say, why would you want to do that? And there's a couple reasons. 1, it's less wiring. 2, the venue that we are the in-house audio provider for, AV provider for, they have a really bad grounding / FM radio problem there that pretty much any XLR runs over 50 foot get interference. It's bad. Like we've tried just about anything. We've had some techs higher than us trying to work on it. It's a problem. So we pretty much have to run Dante solutions for our audio, or we have to run wireless microphones to all of our microphones. So that's what we do, and it works really well. So much that even if we're right beside the microphones, we still run a wireless lapel for our podiums because it's quicker to set up and quicker to tear down. Now, inside of these baggies right here, we have battery packs. So we also have lapel microphones. So we have a couple lapel microphones in here, and we have a hardwired battery AA that allows us to run these body packs with constant power. So when we're running wireless audio, we won't run on batteries for these. We'll plug them in directly with these AA converters that allow us to run permanent power to the body pack. Same thing with the podium mic, we'll run permanent power to them as well. Same thing in both those bags. And then right here we have the Audio-Technica, kind of like Britney Spears mic, Countryman, whatever you want to call it. We have 2 of those guys in here as well. We've never really needed more than 2 of them for a corporate AV event, but we have those in here. So we have all the microphone options. We have podium mics, we have body packs, we have lapels, we have the Countryman style, we have our 45 volt up converters, we have hard power, and we have our 4 handheld microphones to run with our 4 outputs there. And that's pretty much it. That is everything in our corporate AV rack that we take to every single event. Other than that, we take our giant flight case over there that's full of tons of different 12 gauge extension cords, breakout boxes, etc. And we take that tote over there, which is full of XLR cable. Outside of that, you know, we have a variety of different things that we take to the events depending on what we're doing. We have 6,000 lumen short throw projectors. We've got AV Stumble 12-foot screens and dress kits, variety of speaker options across the board. We like column arrays for all of our speakers, so we have LD systems, Maui 44s. We have 28 LD Maui 28s. We have RCF NXL 24s. We have LD 18 subs, LD Maui 5 goes. Variety of speaker options that we can utilize at our events. And then we have all the lighting stuff too. Oh, this is new. We also take 4 of these to all of our events as well. These are collapsible rolly chairs. So they're pretty comfortable. They're pretty comfortable and they break down, so you don't have to take a giant chair to your events. A lot of venue halls won't give you one. So these guys right here, of course, they have 4 wheels, so they spin, they rotate, they're comfortable. Actually, the backrest here actually will adjust. It has a little bit of a spring to it, which is nice when you want to lean back. But to collapse them, you just lift up on the thing, you kind of just pick it up. It's hard to do one-handed. They fully collapse, so that way they don't take up much room in your truck or trailer or box truck when you're going to your corporate AV events. So I'll link those down in the description too, but typically we have 4 of those at least back behind our rack to do all our things. We also have some stools that we might use as well. But yeah, guys, that right there is the corporate AV rack. Tell me, guys, what you guys want to see in terms of videos related to our corporate AV side. Do you want to see videos on the Allen and Heath board? Do you want to see videos on that Rode Video Podcaster or Video Caster? I will say I'm trying to find a corporate AV event that I can actually film for you guys and show you start to finish everything we do behind the scenes. But unfortunately, a lot, and by that I mean 90% of the corporate AV events we do for a lot of big brands, a lot of names you guys know, we can't film any of it because we're under NDA contracts, and basically we're on social media blackout where we can't post anything, can't show you anything. I try to post some stuff on Instagram for stories where I just kind of avoid showing the logos as much as possible. But yeah, we're not really allowed to film stuff. I will say this business, this side of the division, has gone from like 0 to 100 incredibly fast. And it's been a really fun journey. A lot of money, a lot of expensive gear, but there's good money in corporate, let me tell you. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys want to see in terms of other videos. What items do you see in here? I know all you nitpickers, what are the things that I'm not doing correctly? What are the things that I should be doing differently? I'm sure you guys have a million solutions and a million ideas because everybody does it differently. Let me know. I want to hear all the shit in the comments down below. Let me know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Peace out. Keep the record spinning. Adios. Bye.